All right. Hey everyone. Hope everybody can hear me okay. I'm gonna see that we're live and everything. Do do do. Do do. Let's see here. Yep. Seems good. Hey everyone. Let me see what the delay is like. Test. Yep. Seems good. Hey everyone. Let me see what the delay is like. Test. Meh. Good enough. Yep. Seems good. Whoops. Right. Hello, everybody. Where's that overlay going? 1 second. Enable game overlay. Ah, okay. Yeah. There we go. Perfect. No Cauldra. Yep, no Cauldra this week, boys and girls, and those alive betwixt. We're not doing Cauldra this week. Feel like there's been enough Cauldra for the month, so we're gonna hold on to that for a bit. 1 second. Just gonna close the window even more. This is super windy. Ugh. Alright. Here we are. So, last week, I actually asked everybody what deck I should be playing, and I did something sneaky this time. I actually posted both on the YouTube community tab and also on Twitter. And I actually got two very different responses. On Twitter, I got the winning vote was Akiri Cauldra, and on YouTube, the winning vote was Heidar. And the difference there, though, is that YouTube community tab had like way more votes. So I went with that. Also, because I think people who are following me on YouTube probably are going to be more likely to watch the stream. So, some people are expecting Akiri Cauldra. Just rest assured that's going to be coming. But today, people seem to really want Heidar going on. And yes, it's actually pretty cold. Pretty cold outside today. Kind of chilly. So I felt, what would be more seasonally appropriate? A Kiri Cauldra or a chilly Frosty Boy. And it's Heidar. It's Heidar time. Not quite winter yet, but it's getting there. So yeah, that is a deck list we're going to be playing. Not a budget deck list. In the future, if you want me to do budget as a general rule for these streams, I can make a poll and see what people are interested in. Or is Nyorik here? Nyorik, are you here? Blink twice if you're here. Maybe we might do a poll right now. But if not, I'll probably just do a poll later on and see if that's what people want. If you want mostly budget streams, like $100 or less, I can definitely do it. This week I was feeling just like, drop some big money to go all out and show what Heidar can do. Heidar is also kind of on the weaker side, so I kind of felt like propping up his budget would be acceptable. Yeah. I'm glad it's different, tired of equipment after equipment. Yeah, I have a feeling from the comment section, while people seem to overall enjoy the whole Cauldra shtick, if I do it too many times in a row, people don't enjoy it that much. So, yeah, I'm going to hold off on it. Hold off on doing it too much, because too much of a good thing kind of sours it a bit. It's 12 where I am, and it's raining. It's like about 12 here, too. And it is also bad. Bad weather. Yeah, 16 here. Hi Tomer, I'm looking to build a Golgari enchantments deck. What commander would you or chat recommend? I personally would recommend what's her name? Farika? And then I need to look her up. Farika? Yeah, Farika God of Affliction is the go-to, I think, for Golgari Enchantress. I like seeing budget deck techs, but actual gameplay is nicer with $150 to $200 upgrades. Fair enough. I see Winter Orb. I like that. When will we see Moonfolk again? If people want to see Moonfolk again, we can bring back Moonfolk. I felt like I already did a primer on Moonfolk, and I already like won with Moonfolk on Commander Clash, so I figured people were done with Moonfolk at that point. But if that's what people want to see again, I can do it. Okay, so we're on average. How many lanes do you like cutting for MDFCs now? Um, I think it depends on the deck, but like right now, I was running 37 lands, and I added Seagate Restoration as a land slot. Generally speaking, though, a lot of the tap lanes don't I don't really like cutting land slots for tap lands because too many tap lands. Like you could cut like one or two untapped lands for two tap lands, and you'll be fine. But if you have too many tap lands in your deck, you're going to lose so much tempo that I think the upside of having like the modality of the cards kind of gets lost a bit. So I think it really depends. The answer to that, the good answer to that, I would say, is it depends on how many tap lands you already have in your deck and how much of a risk you're willing to take on losing some tempo. Um, let's say if you have like only two tap lands in your entire deck, uh, and you want to put in another MDFC that's like a moto land that comes into play tapped, I would do that, one or two. But if you go two all in and you have like 10 or so tap lands in your deck, it's going to be pretty bad. So that's also why I don't like them so much. I like them less in like 3 and 4 color decks, especially on a budget, because in 3 and 4 color decks on a budget, I'm going to have a bunch of tap lands for mana fixing, and these don't mana fix. Let me catch up on chat a little bit. Snow Me the Cauldra, nice. Uh, Spell Shaper Tribal. Thoughts on Dreamscape Artist? I don't really like Dreamscape Artist. I'm in Manitoba, northern Manitoba. We've had snow twice already. Oh boy. That is I could not do that personally. That's rough. Hey Tomer, I made this Joe. I can't say her name. I'm just gonna call her Joe. Hey, I made this Joe a deck focused on drawing as many cards as possible. And since I know you live for drawing cards, here it is. I don't know if you can link in the URL, but you could just email me at tomer@mggoldfish, and I'll check it out later. Enchantment Voltron or Pure Enchantress. My spelling is bad today. Icy Prison. Yep, Icy Prison. I have Bolt lands, placing a basic. Otherwise, I'm only cutting spells for them and adding max to protect. I think that's a safe approach. I think in monocolor decks, like if I'm in a monocolor deck and I don't have any untapped lands or I don't have any tap lands, I can see an argument made where you could put in like 3 or so tap lands, modal lands, and you'll be fine, because odds are if you need that land to be untapped, you'll probably have another land in your hand to play. That'll be fine. But if you have like 10 or so tap lands and you want to add modal lands as part of your land package, yeah, it's not great. Changing tribal with more of the new cards. I actually looked at the new cards and from Battle for Zendikar, and honestly, for at least my personal list for tribal, I want to try in Tazri and maybe the Tutor, and that's it. The rest didn't really interest me too much. I think Linvala would be the next one that I'd be interested in, but most of them are just not that great, or at least like they're good. They're especially good on a budget. But once you have like, if budget's not a concern and you're just wanting to fill your deck full of good tribal cards, it's pretty competitive spots. Is Tradewind Rider in here? I don't think so. I've found Tie Spout a bit disappointing when I played it. Yeah, I mean it's 8 mana and doesn't do anything when it enters the battlefield. So I could see an argument for it being a bit too slow. The deck does generate a ton of mana, so I'm gonna go over that soon. I'm just trying to catch up on all the messages. And I guess we'll post that we're live. That's also good. All right. Post that we're live. It's usually snow September, October till like April, maybe sometimes June. Yeah. I was actually thinking at some point I was thinking like maybe I want to move to like one of the middle provinces, maybe like not Edmonton, maybe Edmonton, because it's very cheap and I work from home and I do like the outdoors a fair amount. So being somewhere around there, or Calgary was the one I was thinking, not Edmonton. Edmonton's more like if I was in school still. But yeah, I always thought it would be cool to go there, especially in terms of like you save a bunch of money and you have nature all around you. It seems like pretty good if you're working from home. But I don't think I could do the winter. The winter is too much for me. Have you guys ever thought of doing a 5-color hidden commander week or decks in general? I like to see something like a 5-color polymorph deck or something. That could happen. Hidden Commander Week could be interesting. It really depends on if everybody has a good idea that they want to pull off. Lower Manitoba is not bad, just Northern Manitoba. Yeah, I could see that. Hey, how's it going? Winnipeg isn't that bad. What level would you say this deck is? Probably a 5 or a 6. Maybe a 6. So we'll go over the deck real quick. So we're playing Heidar. Heidar was chosen by the people. Heidar, I would say, is a control deck, and it's quite fun to pilot. It's going to be less fun for opponents. So for people who don't know, Heidar Rimewind Master is basically the only official Snow Tribal commander we have at the moment. I'm assuming we're going to get more in Kaldheim. I'm assuming Snow comes back in Kaldheim, so we'll get more Snow commanders next year. But for now, Heidar is our only option. But he's not a bad one. Despite being very, very high costed, he costs 5 mana for a 3/3 human wizard. He does have a very powerful activated ability. You pay 2 when you tap him to return target permanent to its owner's hand. It could be your permanents, it could be lands. So it has no restrictions on the type of permanents it can bounce. You activate this ability only if you control 4 or more snow permanents. So on an extreme budget, Heidar is pretty terrible because most snow permanents aren't really good. However, the easiest way to achieve Heidar's restriction of 4 or more snow permanents is having snow basic lands. It's trivial to have a high snow count with snow basic lands. I think this is a design mistake. I think it's very silly that you have just a basic land with an upside for no reason. But it is what it is. And these bad boys are like $1 right now. So it's not insanely expensive. I think like we're running like 22 of them, so that's $22. And once you have $22 or whatever, you have a bunch of basic islands. Heidar is pretty easy to consistently activate. So he's basically a 5 mana 3/3 that you pay 2 and tap to return target permanent to its owner's hand. Balancing things by itself, not incredibly powerful. However, the fact that you can do so at instant speed and you can target your own stuff, that's where stuff gets really fun. So the cool thing is what we're trying to do with this deck is it's actually more of a gimmick deck. We have a couple gimmick cards that are really fun to bounce, and they're mostly our own stuff that we want to be bouncing. So for example, Reality Acid says, enchant a permanent, and when it leaves the battlefield, enchanted permanent's controller sacrifices it. So what we can do is we can enchant a permanent we don't like, that we want to be sacrificed, and then we bounce it back to our hand with Heidar. So Reality Acid goes back to our hand, and when that happens, the permanent it was enchanting dies. So we can then, recast it again on a new target and keep bouncing it for Heidar, Rimewind, Master. We essentially have unconditional permanent removal in mono blue, which is really cool that we do just repeatedly for 5 mana essentially. We have other cool things that we can do. It's essentially a blink deck. Yes, it's a blink with extra steps, but because it works a little bit differently, there are some cool things we can do that traditional blink deck just can't do because mostly instant speed. Another one we got is Ashiok's Erasure. This is a 4 mana, basically a counter spell. It has flash. When it enters the battlefield, you exile target spell. And then when it leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to its owner's hand. Now, this is the old style of these activated triggers like Oblivion Stone or Oblivion Ring. So what we can do is there's a nasty spell that we want to get rid of. We cast Ashiok's Erasure in response while it's still on the stack. It enters the battlefield and we target that spell, so it's going to get exiled. In response to that first trigger, to that first thing of when Ashiok's Erasures enters the battlefield, exile target spell, while that's still on the stack, we bounce it with Heidar, Rimewind Master. And what happens is then the last trigger actually happens first. So when Ashiok's Erasure leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to its owner's hand. So we bounce Ashiok's Erasure in response to the first trigger. Then the second trigger goes on the stack first and resolves. There's no exiled card to return yet, so that resolves and nothing happens. Then the first trigger actually resolves. Ashiok's Erasure's first trigger resolves, and the spell is exiled forever, and we can do it again. It's 6 mana, it's janky, but it's repeatable, and it's funny. I like it. It's cute. It's cute. This is the idea of the deck, is being cute. We have same thing with like Icy Prison. When it enters the battlefield, you exile target creature, and when it leaves the battlefield, you return the exile card back to the battlefield. So you can cast Icy Prison in response to exiling a creature. You bounce it with Heidar back to your hand, and then the creature's exiled permanently. So that's a nice little combo over here. It's essentially Fiend Hunter, Oblivion Ring, same concept. Dance of Many, same thing too. When it enters the battlefield, you make a token copy of target non-token creature. And when it leaves the battlefield, you exile that token. So you cast Dance of Many in response to it creating a token of a copy of a target creature. You bounce it with Heidar. It leaves the battlefield, nothing happens, and you have a permanent token that you can copy again. There's a bunch of them that do that. And we have also redundancy. So Heidar is doing that, but we also have like Vidalcan Mastermind that does the same thing. So that's what the deck is. It's a bouncy deck. It's all about cute interactions and accruing repeatable value. I wouldn't say this is a fun deck for our opponents to play. I feel we're probably going to be the arch enemy at the table with all our just little neat removal spells, because we are just essentially a control deck. But sometimes we gotta have fun at the expense of our opponents, right? So this is what that deck is. It's we are the fun police. We are gonna have tons of fun. Our opponents will not. We'll probably be hated out a whole bunch, but that's fine. As long as we get to do our cute gimmick, that's the entire purpose of the deck. In terms of win conditions, there's a couple ways we're going to be generating infinite mana. And once we generate infinite mana, we're going to draw our entire deck with spells like where are you? I swear we have spells that do it. Oh, okay. Pull from Tomorrow, Blue Sun Zenith, and Gatwick the Wizened. All of these can draw our entire deck when we have infinite blue mana, and then we just drop like a Thassa's Oracle and we win. But the deck isn't about winning. The deck is about having a fun time at the expense of our opponents. Definitely run Aether Rise and Aether Spouts. I mean, we have so much bounce. I don't think we need to like yell at our opponents so we have Aether Rise mana up. Also, we don't have the opportunity to politic with our opponents, right? They're not in chat with us. So if I hold Aether Rise up, they don't know it. They're gonna attack us anyway. So I don't think that's about anything I particularly care about. What else is cool? Our other fun, flavorful win condition is Merit Lodge. So we have two ways of making a 2020 Black Avatar creature token. The first one is we have 10 or worse snow permanents. We just make a big old token. But we also have the original Dark Depths, which is also fun fact, I did not notice until I first played Heidar. It's actually a legendary snowland. So we don't have any. We don't have any real. We have some. We don't have like any crazy synergies to get it out really fast. We have an expedition map, and that's basically it to find it. But if we do find it, Dark Depths plus what's it called, Thespian Stage, allows us to copy the Dark Depths with no counters on it and immediately make our big chonker. So that's fun. Actually, if I have a Trinket Mage, I'm gonna throw it in to the deck. I don't know if I have one on. Oh, I do. I have 4 actually. That might be from the Pauper days that I was playing. We're probably going to throw that in just as another way to get Expedition Map or like Everflowing Chalice. That could actually be pretty decent, I guess. Maybe. How about Propaganda? I don't know. I kind of feel like if our opponents wanted to attack us, that's pretty much fair game, I think. I don't know. It seems fine if they do that. What don't we like? I kind of like all these cards, unfortunately. Oh yeah, and we are running Winter Orb, obviously. So Winter Orb is a Menal stacks card that says your opponents can't untap more than 1 land each turn. We get around it though, but we could just bounce it with Heidar, and then our stuff untaps, and then we just recast Winter Orb. Very mean. Very, very mean. Actually, I don't think we need a Trinket Mage. I think it only grabs like 4 things, and most of them are not that interesting to grab, I don't think. Mirage Mirror plus Depths. Yeah, we could go pretty deep too. Where's Cold Steel Heart? It's here. It's a snow mana rock. Yep. I guess we don't need Counterspell. I guess we want some interaction though. Yeah, Levithorn Mansion is pretty sweet in this deck as well. We also have Rings of Bright Hearth. That's actually why we're running the fetch lands too. The fetch lands it's an activated ability. You pay 1 life and you activate it to get a land. So the reason why we're running the fetch lands is we have Lithoform Engine, which can copy that activated ability, which is essentially ramp for 2 mana. And same thing with Rings of Bright Hearth. It's a nice little synergy that I quite enjoy. Scourge of Fleets, Galecaster Colossus. I mean, we could probably take out the Galecaster, actually. I'll take out the Galecaster for the Trinket Mage. How about that? Galecaster is really good, but it's kind of almost... Oh, no, Tidespy Turner. Tidespy Turner. I forgot. It's not good in this deck. There. Easy change. I don't even think I have Propaganda on my account. I do have Propaganda on my account. I mean, if you want to see it, I don't necessarily think it's that important. No Sol Ring? Oh, we don't have Sol Ring. Man. All right, good call. Let's put in Sol Ring, and we'll take out probably Thought Vessel. Yeah, we'll take out Thought Vessel for it. All right, chat. I think people have come in. Stream has streamed in. That's all good. Okay. Yeah, Sol Ring's underrated. Yeah. It makes Trinket Mage a little bit better, you know? If you can get a Sol Ring. All right. Yeah, this was initially played on Commander Clash as a thing. So it had to follow the ban list kind of a while back. Are you running MDFCs or are you natty? I'm not natty, bro. I have a Seagate. I got a Seagate Restoration. I don't think there's like only a Salundi Vision or something. There's like the blue ones are pretty bad, honestly. The Salundi Vision is really good in Spellslinger, but I wouldn't run it anywhere else. Seagate Restoration is fantastic. I would run it in basically any mono blue or dual color blue deck. It's really, really good. But the other ones, like creatures your opponents control get like -X Like that's a limited combat trick. That's not really that big. Cyclonic Rift. We don't need Cyclonic Rift. We basically have like on theme Cyclonic Rifts. We have so much bounce. I think it's fine. I think we're fine. We don't need Cyclonic Rift. No love for the mirror. Will you be giving it a chain? I mean, I've played the mirror a whole bunch. It's just I don't know. It's always like that first card that I cut. I don't know why. All right. All right. Enough of the preamble. We're in it for blood. Is Snow Mercy your favorite holiday card? If not, what is it? Is Snow Mercy an actual Magic the Gathering card? I don't know. All right, we're going to be jumping into the game. We're going to be jumping into the game, folks. Why Cyclonic Rift winning a River Rebuke? I don't know. Okay. Kill Crit. Chili boy. Tomer, did you break your abacus? I actually did. I actually did break my abacus. Wow. TLUR has sniped a spot again. He's I think it's a tie between him and Ankylosaur. Actually, these are all viewers that I've played against before. I played against Afro, I played against TLUR, and I played against Tuk Tuk Jones. Okay, then. So I don't think it's going to be enjoyable for opponents to play against us. Unfortunately for them. This hand is acceptable. We have Dark Depths, which is very slow, but we do have 2 lands that we can use. We have Cold Steel Heart. We have a Trophy Mage. This seems like a good solid 7. Nothing insane, but it has all the cards that I like. Are you running Baron? Yeah, we're running the new Baron. I'll give a link in the YouTube chat. Boom. It's a holiday card, silver border type stuff. I'm not familiar with it. All right, we're gonna start strong with Mystic Sanctuary and pass. All right, let's see how's it looking on stream. It's looking good on stream. Yep, everything seems to be the right size. Okay. Oh, it's still my turn? Whoops, I'm sorry. Okay. Do you think we will see Snowlands in the Viking set? I think so, yeah. I really hope. I think snow basic lands are a design mistake, but like once they've already done it, they've done it, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if it came back. And snow dual lands are probably going to be a thing too. Tomer, I made a commander deck for Seth. I get the feeling you'd prefer a new Abacus instead. I mean, I need to fix my Abacus is the problem. Tomer, is there anything you're hoping for in Commander Legends? I was hoping for a Kithkin Commander, but unfortunately that did not happen. And I don't think Cauldron is happening in the Kithkin set either, or in the Commander Legends set. So no, I don't know what I'm looking for, actually. In the Commander Legends. I just hope there's nothing, like, too busted. Like, I don't want another Fierce Guardianship or, like, another Najila. It's less what I'm looking forward to at this point and more what I'm not looking forward to. I just hope that it's a balanced set. Like, I'm really excited to play it in Limited. Draft is actually, like, my first love, if people don't know. I was drafting since, like, I was drafting for a long time before playing Commander, and having both Draft and Commander kind of merged together is actually amazing for me, because my play group is kind of, I have a couple different play groups, and I have a bunch of like real life, I have a bunch of like, not real life, I have a bunch of real life friends, but I have a bunch of like old high school friends that we meet up every once in a while. They don't really follow Magic that much. Like, they don't actively play, but we play together every once in a while. And we usually do like a draft or something. That's how we kind of like play Magic the Gathering together. I'll buy a booster box, and I will just like, since they don't have any care for the cards themselves, I would just pay for it, and basically I would just keep anything we open at the end of the day. And we would draft, and it would be really fun. And we wouldn't have like 8 people or whatever. We do like a 4-person draft or a 6-person draft. How many people we have, and then we do 1 or 2 matches. We don't do like a full night of it or whatever. We'll do that, and then we'll like hop into another board game. And they do enjoy Commander, but they don't play to the extent where they. Oh my goodness, this is a lot of stuff. Tuk is just kind of going off. We don't have anything that can really stop that though. Target player draws 2 cards. I think we just like. Trophy Mage doesn't get Trinket Mage. I think we Trophy Mage for something. Trophy Mage for something. Maybe we go for. We probably want to go for Midnight Clock, actually. And then we can play Snow-Covered Island, anticipating another Snow-Covered Island. This doesn't tap for mana anyway, so we'll just hold up mana. Yeah, Midnight Clock works really well. So what was I saying? So we like Commander, we like limited draft, and that's what I do with that play group. So the idea of having Commander Legends, where you just draft with like 4 people, 6 people, whatever, and then you just play a game together, is really appealing for me. Like, I can totally see like I get like 3 of my friends together, and we will draft it and then play a 4-player game of Commander with Commander Legends. So this is like the perfect product for me and my high school friends. Unfortunately, during quarantine, we've never actually met indoors. Maybe we can. Hopefully, at some point, we'll be able to play outdoors. But like now, it's winter time, and it's going to be too cold for that. So that's really a bummer. But just like the idea of Commander Legends seems like perfect for my play group from like a draft perspective and stuff. That's what I'm really looking forward for. As a constructed player and like content creator and stuff like that, I'm just more excited. I'm more hopeful that they don't, really push stuff with like chase cards, like Fierce Guardianship and Flawless Maneuver. Those were the chase cards, and Deflecting Swat were the chase cards of Commander 2020. And I feel like they're not really healthy for the game in the long run. And then just like Najila and stuff like that, also chase cards. I don't think they're healthy for the game. So my hope for Commander Legends took me a long time to get there, but my hope is that they just don't make it too strong. Or Teferi's Protection, yes. I think those cards are just kind of like. It's really hard. I won't say they ruin the format. Obviously, it doesn't ruin the format. But I think like it does push up the power level of the format in general. Even though everybody's power level is self-regulatory and everything, just the fact that you keep adding more and more powerful cards that kind of push aside the older cards, people are going to feel compelled to run those cards, and once other people are running those cards, you have to keep up with them, and then you have to increase your deck's power level, and then you don't have those lower power level cards anymore. And yeah, that's how we power creep Commander. And I think power creep is going to be happening, but like at the rate they're doing it right now is kind of annoying. But yeah. Can you show opponents' commanders? Oh, yeah, of course. So we're up against Shattergang Brothers, Liliana, Heretic Cathar, and Grenzo Havoc Razor. Grenzo's kind of going off. Not much we can do about that. That was like a turn 1 Goblin Lackey. So kind of insane. We're getting hit. And we're going to block, obviously. Did you donate to the professor? I think I still need to, actually. I retweeted it and then I kind of blanked out as I was doing other work. But after stream, if it's still open, I'll do a donation. Um, can you do complete snow dual cycles? I think. Yeah, I like to see the Tapland dual cycle. It's pretty sweet. Um, Midnight Counter. Don't get anything too scary right now. Yeah, I mean Midnight Clouds is scary. I'm so far behind in chat. What are the other commanders? What's up, James? What are the other commanders? Wow, I was just rambling for so long, and everybody just wanted to see the commanders. Najila is the most healthy shush platformer. No. Have you ever tried or thought of trying webcam EDH? I've been doing it every once in a while in Spellslinger, but if you mean like as an episode, a series, I haven't really considered it just because I don't think Richard or Seth has a good setup for it. So Tuck Tuck Jones is just like he's just bringing out the big guns this week. Okay. Unfortunately, we don't have too much in the way of interesting plays. We have 5 mana. We can't cast Cage Sun yet. We could. I think what we're going to do is we're going to Midnight Clock, and we're going to keep up Archmage's Charm, and see if there's anything important that we want to counter. We'll keep up blockers. How do you block your creatures? 2 of them are Castellana and Grenza. Who's the third? Shattergang Brothers. Oh, I guess we're gonna have to. Auto yield to that. Have you ever tried? You don't know the answer to that. But if all cards become overpowered, are any cards really overpowered? I mean, relative to the cards we had, decades prior, yes. Just because cards get invalidated doesn't mean they're weaker. With power creep being pushed out, blasphemous act. All right, I mean, I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna counter you. Bye. All right. They don't ruin the format, but they're obnoxious. I mean, there's not a single card that Wizards of the Coast can print in Commander that will ruin the format. It's just impossible because it's a 100-card singleton. So one card is not going to make a large impact. Commanders make the largest impact, obviously, because you have access to them at all times. So they're like the ones that are going to dictate the power level of the format the most in general. But it's not. It's 100-card singleton, and it's also very self-regulatory. There's no tournaments online, so there's not that. There's no external pressure for you to. There's not the same external pressure for you to boost up your deck's power level. But there is an external pressure in terms of if all your play groups that you are playing against are higher power level than you, then either you will have just an overall worse time trying to play with them, or you have to boost up your deck's power level as well. And that's kind of what we start seeing with cards like, it's mostly the commanders, like Horvold and Najila. If a new player wants to jump into Commander, or an older player wants to just like find a new Commander, and they want to build XYZ deck, like I want to build a sacrifice deck. Well, you look at what's available, and you see like Shattergang Brothers is an option and everything, but then Corvold comes out, and it's like so much better than everything else. You get really hyped to do it. Even if you're not intending to make like a very powerful Corvold deck, your deck is just going to be very powerful because the card commander is very powerful. And so once you bring that to the table, you're going to start stomping people with less powerful commanders, just even if you didn't intend to do so. And then those opponents, if that's your only deck, for example, if you're just like new to Commander, you built a Corvold deck because it just came out or whatever, like it's 2019 and Corvold just came out, and we're not even thinking about quarantine or whatever. Oh, I'm gonna counter that. Okay. Unfortunately, this doesn't tap for mana. But I guess that's fine. Oh, we have the combo. Friends. Da da da. Let's do Cage Sun. Targeting blue. Dark Depths. I can't tap it for anything. It'll just mock me. So my long rant is basically if you keep printing like overpowered commanders and pointed at new players are going to build it, and also just older players too. I have like a sacrifice commander, and ooh, there's a newer one. I'm going to swap over to it. You could say like the format is self-regulatory, obviously to an extent, but if people are just they build it not even knowing that the card is overpowered or whatever, or more powerful than the people they play against, it's too late once they've already built the deck, right? They've already sunk in their investment. What are you going to do? Just not play it anymore, and then it's up to the rest of the player group to catch up. That's the problem with that's the problem, especially with printing overpowered commanders, is they're going to start showing up in the hands of people not necessarily because they wanted an overpowered commander, just it appealed to them. Like Nagila is a 5-color warrior, you can play all of the warriors in there. It just so happens Nagila is incredibly busted, and that I think is not healthy for the format. Stuff like Fierce Guardianship, I don't think is that healthy for the format either, just because it makes problematic blue commanders even more difficult to deal with. Like if you have a Tatyova on the battlefield, basically you can deal with Tatyova the turn she's cast at instant speed, and if you don't, then Tatyova usually will just like outvalue you and win. Or same with Chulane. Like you have a small window to interact with them to actually disrupt them, and if you don't stop them, and keep in mind they also have other counter magics up as well. If you don't stop them in that small window, they're probably going to just outvalue you and just crush you very, very quickly. Okay, that was less good for us, but I mean, we're emptying our hand. We have Midnight Clock. If Midnight Clock got destroyed too, that would be not great. Gadrak, I love Gadrak. This is such a great card. I think this card is highly underrated, by the way. I've seen a lot. I've seen it used a lot in sacrifice decks, and it's been really, really good. So I like this so far. My problem with Fierce Guardianship is, like the window of opportunity for busted blue commanders is very small. They have counter magic backup on next turns as well. They generate value very, very quickly. So when you offer them yet another free counter spell to make it even more difficult, more unlikely that you can actually stop them, I think it's just not great. I don't know. It's just not great for most tables. It's kind of like adding another Cyclonic Rift to the game. Like, do you need to run Cyclonic Rift? No, you could go just fine without Cyclonic Rift. Like, your deck doesn't need it. But will people run Cyclonic Rift if it's available in the format? Of course. It's the best board wipe, at least in blue, and you could make an argument that it's the best board wipe in most casual settings. If your games regularly go to turn 11 and you have 7 mana on turn 5 regularly, and that's like a normal thing, it's the best board wipe. Probably it's less so in CDH, but like that's the problem with adding really powerful cards is people are just going to run them because why wouldn't you? And then that power creeps the format a lot. So when people always say it's like the format's self-regulatory, you don't have to run cards if you don't want to. That's true to an extent, but like how many times do you go to a random play group and the blue player isn't running Cyclonic Rift, right? Well, how many times does that actually happen? It really doesn't happen that often unless you have like a house rule that you don't ban it, you don't run it, like Commander Clash, or it's like a $30 card and you can't afford to run it. That was a really long rant. I am sorry. I'm going to go back to answering questions. Hope that it was enjoyable to somebody. Are you running Commandeer and Strip Mine? So the original list for Commander Clash had Commandeer and Strip Mine because I was just hoping maybe on the off chance that I'll get Seth to fit, but I took them out. Did you play Among Us on the MTG Goldfish stream? I did. I was a ghost for the majority of the game. It was still fun though. Dark Depths Thespian stage. Yes. Gosh, it's too early for a little snow. Yep. Yeah, for rely on Sakana. Man, there is a lot to catch up on. Let's just mulligan on the whole me doing that. And I'm just going to cast Thespian Stage. Well, this is gonna pop off soon. So let's 1, 2. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We can't Galecaster Colossus and Sapphire Medallion. I think we just want to have the Colossus on the battlefield. Actually, we need 1, 2. We don't have enough mana to do it, actually. Because we want to have Thespian Stage up this turn. So 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, we can hold off on the Dark Depths for a turn just to empty our hand, and I think we're gonna do that. So what we could do is we can Dark Depths Thespian Stage this turn, and I think that's very valid. Or we could just empty our hand because Midnight Clock is gonna refill it really soon. So 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we don't have enough mana to do both anyway. Maybe we just Galecaster. I think we just keep Galecaster up. Galecaster is a really good card. Yeah, we just do this. We just do this. We have a blocker. Also, the Crater Maker can get rid of the Midnight Clock if they don't want it to be around, so I don't know. I think on the off chance that they allow us to do so, then we should keep this up. Hey, Grim. How's it going? Catching up. Corval Food Chain Pod. Yup. I mean, at EDH Apples is fine. Perfect free to play, man. Arkham next week. No, man. Stop. No. Don't give him ideas. Bad chat. Bad. I just got here. What is the deck's playstyle and win cons? This is a bouncy deck. It's basically a Crim deck. Like, imagine Crim made this deck and it all makes sense. It's just about bouncing your opponents and making them miserable with really cute effects. Our main win conditions is like infinite mana, infinite card draw, drop a Thassa's Oracle, or we make Merit Lodge and destroy everybody with that. So I don't think Midnight Clock's actually going to work. I'm going to turn on the lights, though, because unfortunately I can't have my curtains open, or else I'm just completely shadowed because of just the positioning of the lighting. But I can turn some lights behind me. Or on top of me. All right, mood lighting stream, yes. Please, I never get more than 3 lands. I know, it's completely unreasonable. Aw, Violent Ultimatum. All right, well, this is looking pretty bad for us at this point. We lost Dark Depths. I don't think we have a way of getting it back either. And we lost Midnight Clock, so our card draw is no longer very good. At least Cryptcast got taken out. Okay. So our turn is a lot less fun. I think the Midnight Clock was going to get destroyed anyway by the Crater Maker, so I'm not too sad about that, but not having the Dark Depths is a little bit annoying. I think maybe we probably want to have some sort of way to shuffle our library back into or shuffle our graveyard back into our library. I think we could like run Commit to Memory, and that might be a nice tweak to the deck to make it a little bit better. We've had a lot of our stuff destroyed so far. Cage Sun, Midnight Clock, and Dark Depths. Please read Crater Maker. Oh. It couldn't have gotten rid of it. Oh. I thought it could get rid of artifacts. Wow. I guess I assumed it was artifacts because it usually destroys. Usually I call this. Usually artifacts are colorless. Finally got there. All right. Fine. I made a mistake. Curious, why Ashiok's Erasure? So our commander is Heidar. What we can do is when we cast Ashiok's Erasure, it enters the battlefield. We exile target spell. While that's on the stack, we can use Heidar to bounce it. Then the last thing happens first. It leaves the battlefield. You return the card. So it's kind of like you're doing the O-ring trick, right? You're doing the O-ring blink bounce trick, or you're doing like the Fiend Hunter bounce trick. So this is just like the blue version of that, where you can permanently exile spells with Ashiok's Erasure and bounce it back to hand. Words are hard. I guess we get rid of the Sapphire Medallion. Yeah, commit to memory is probably a good idea here. Where are the warriors? It's my Akiri deck, obviously. Oh yeah, the commander is also kind of blocked by the chat. I don't know if that's the best thing to do, but you know. All right, are they gonna make a sacrifice? Each player sacrifices 2 creatures. So we can make them draw 1 less card if we bounce a zombie, or we can bounce a Rex Sage to blow up one of like their Sol Rings or something. All right, Tuck Tuck Jones go for that. I guess it's best if we just bounce the... Let's just bounce a zombie. I don't think anything else is relevant. Like, we can bounce a planeswalker, right? But... I guess bouncing a planeswalker is kind of slow. I'll only bounce a token. So we're in a really bad spot. We don't have any action whatsoever, so we're kind of hoping to hit like some card draw at this point. The Midnight Clock would have been pretty sweet, but all our stuff is dead, so not great. I bet there are more warriors in this deck. There might randomly be some warriors. This is the largest wizard I've ever seen. So this might be like Liliana tribal. There are a lot of Lilianas in play. So is this a bounce tribal deck? Yeah, pretty much. I'll send a link. The deck list button does not work, but there you go. You know, it targets your opponent's stuff. Yeah. So I gotta ask, when you all play, is there like a fear? Like, is Richard remember when you talked bad about my Kithkin when you asked for vacation time? No. Well, that would be funny. Non-basic lands or mountains. Alright, I mean, it is what it is. Alright, so we'll Tribute Mage. I'm not sure what we'll find, but hopefully we'll find some gas. So this hoses the Shattergang Brothers player quite a bit, but I don't think it really affects. Oh no! Stranglehold! It's been a while since I got played against Stranglehold. That feels bad. All right, we'll pass. Now you got me. we'll edit it out. I have a resting sus face somehow. Atomer somehow always gets me injected. I mean, I'm always correct though. Also, next Among Us stream, I'll say yeah. Yep. That was an F. That was painful. 2 mana 2/2. I mean, it's good value. It's actually a 3 mana 2/2. Good value. Yeah, it's on curve. Not really. It's not even a. Yeah. All right, we're gonna play Heidar next turn, and I don't know. We bounce something and hope that is good. I guess I don't know. This game's definitely not shaping up to be that great for us. All right, so T just has a bunch of mana and a bunch of Lilianas. Not much to do here. Do you punt for content, or does it just kind of happen? I'll let you in on a secret. I never punt. I always play perfectly, and the only reason why I will do a mistake is because it's all intentional to make it more entertaining, so that people in the comment section will keep yelling at me how I'm ruining the game and ruining the series. That's my end game, right? I want to be the heel of Commander Clash, right? And I do that by making sure that you have to watch my perspective each game, because I want it to be my perspective. It's not because the rest of the crew is too lazy to record reliably. No. It's because I want to be the POV every single time, so you can find out my mistakes, and then I make sure I make a bunch of mistakes every single game on purpose, so that everybody gets angry at me, so I take all the heat. I'm the perfect heel. You just don't know yet. Notes. Better than Kithkin. Could you and Richard do a training arc together? Kithkin and Cauldra Moonfolk can make an epic team up. I mean, Cauldra and Moonfolk already win games. Kithkin has never won a game. I'll have you know, Cauldra hasn't won a game. Cauldra decks have won games. Cauldra itself has not won a game, but Cauldra decks have. And I'll also have you know, the Moonfolk, like all legal Moonfolk in a deck, actually won in Commander Clash and won using Moonfolk. So Moonfolk are already champs. Moonfolk don't need help. They're already overpowered as is. Kithkin, however, have never won a single Commander Clash game. I'm just throwing it out there. Kithkin Tribal has never won. So that's just facts. If they gave the reserve list a 2-year warning, would you be okay with its abolishment? Yes, 100%. I want the reserve list gone. I want it abolished. It's garbage. Stacks, everybody. Smoke is... Man, at some point, I just can't keep up with the comments. Content creators always calculate plays. Yeah, obviously, I never make mistakes. That was Prof's lawyer. You can't teach a right. Watch the Werewolf Blood Moon Tribal deck. I mean, the Blood Moon was 100% on flavor. It was a full moon. Like, it's a werewolf deck. It's perfect. Kithkin versus Dwarves. Dwarves are actually good under Depala. Kithkin are not. When I started playing Magic was in Norwin times, we generally thought Kithkin was the most broken OP tribal ever. Wow. This was the same set with Fairy Tribal, I'll have you know. So, all right. I think we just lost the game, but we'll stick in it. We'll probably have enough for game 2, though. Yeah, I never played during Lorwyn block. I was taking a break on it, but I remember when I came back, I was like, man, I'm sad that I missed Lorwyn block just because fairies are so dope. Fairies are like my favorite tribe. One of my favorite tribes. It's very much my style of play. I really like evasive tempo decks. Blah, blah, blah. Some of us have skin thicker than a colossal dreadmaw. Yep, definitely. Was never actually enrolled. Yeah. The poly combo is the thing. The poly can combo off, yeah. Or you could just do like really basic things like approach a second song, then dig like, X amount of cards deep, and then approach next turn. Not so hard for the Polo. Have you ever noticed games where Tom and I are friends? We always get first and second place. I do notice that. Return target non-land creature card from your graveyard. I mean, sure, just go for it. Wow. We're super dead to Tealer, I think. I also think like Afro might have an answer because he had Blasphemous Act, but now he just can't cast spells. Very unfortunate, this Blood Moon. Because the Blood Moon doesn't really affect me. It doesn't affect me or TLUR, right? So all it did was hose Afro, who's the only one who seemed to have, like, actual answers. Very unfortunate. Rogues are better than fairies. It's time to be friends more often. It's the way it works is we unintentionally befriend each other, and then one of us wins, the other one loses. And then we take turns coming into first and last. Each other player sacrifices an artifact. All right. For Kith Tribal to succeed, in my experience, you need heavy changeling sub-theme. But, like, I mean, half the fun is trying to make it work with bad cards, right? Krim, you're always the one attacking someone first. True. Krim is usually the aggressor. Favorite tribe is card draw tribal. Yeah, that's fair. Is there an angel tribal deck for EDH? Yeah, you can play Lyra or something. Angel tribal is definitely something you can do. If you're in just mono white, it's a little bit hard to do on a budget, but you can definitely do it if you have a higher budget. Just because angel tribals are just like in general, more expensive commander, or more collectible. So filling a deck full of angels is going to be a little bit more pricey. So we hit a land, but we hit the Soul Ring, but there's really not much we can do here. So we'll play our commander, and that's basically it. I'm pretty sure we're like at the point of scooping it up. I kind of hope the TLUR kind of like just finishes the game quickly so we can jump into a game 2. But who knows? Maybe I'll just hit like insane card draw and then win the game somehow. All right, attacks of Liliana. I like Kalia for angels. Yeah, Kalia is good. Kalia makes it a lot more budget friendly in a weird way because you now have more colors to work with to fix the deficits of mono white instead of relying on like more expensive cards that are good in mono white. And you could also have multicolor angels too, so you can pick up more budget friendly angels that way too to fill out your deck. But I'm just assuming that you have a budget. If you just don't, if budget's not a restriction, then ignore everything that I'm saying in terms of budget. Love Emotion. Orcs. Bruna seems interesting for Angel Tribal. Yeah. Sultai free stuff. All those. Is Mangara the Diplomat the best mono white commander? I don't think so. I think Mangara is kind of like generic, and you don't really have control over its abilities. The only way you can control its abilities is either give your opponents like a lot of free resources, like a group hug deck, so that they can cast multiple spells each turn, or you force them to attack you with stuff like the monarchy or stuff like that. But I don't think it's a necessarily good commander. The commanders that I like in the command zone are ones you can build around because you have constant access to them, so you can make situational cards a lot better. So like SRAM, I think is one of the best commanders. Oketra is one of the best commanders. Heliod, New Heliod is one of the best commanders, and Teshar. Those are my top four for mono white. I wouldn't really put Mangara that high. It's fine as like a generic commander, but like I feel like it's a wasted opportunity if you have it in your command zone. Anya Merciless Angel is the best travel angel. I like Anya a whole bunch. Not a lot of people play it, but I like it. Selling money to create our blah, blah, blah. I'm going to start working in my home office in a few minutes, but drop by on the off chance to catch a land about Snowlands. I did rant. I ranted a little bit earlier on. So if you want to catch a snow rant, I did touch upon it earlier in the stream. If you want to catch a recording later. Love my illegal Brea Bruta Prior. Nice. Best mono white is SRAM or Heliod. Yeah, I would agree with that. Tomer $700 budget commander deck. This is not a budget commander deck. Rien's a legendary Night Angel. Yeah, that one's good too. Magic TV show will be as good as TDP. What's TDP? That's sure strong. Yeah, 8.5 Tails is the best mono white weak commander. Yeah. People did not like me for that, but I have no regrets. See, here's the thing. When I picked 8.5 Tails, I actually expected it to be the villain in that week. But here's the reason why I did it, chat. This was actually intentional. When people were like, "Oh, do you punt?" Obviously, that's intentional because I never punt. Unintentionally, of course. But I will say for 8.5 Tails on Mono White Week, I picked that intentionally to troll everybody. And I think the only reason why people bring up Mono White Week is because of that. And I think that is a job well done. I'm just saying. The only reason people talk about Mono White Week is because I picked 8.5 Tails. And I think it was worth it. The Dragon Prince? I have no idea what that is. It could be really. Come on, Dr. Anime. Is it an anime? Have you seen Castlevania? I have. I watched like the first season, and I wasn't the most impressed with it, to be honest. I thought the animation was fantastic, and like the first couple episodes were good, and then it just kind of like the holes in the show kind of made themselves evident, and I lost interest. Did you ever watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, Tomer? Of course, Krim. That was one of my favorite shows. Even though I was like a little bit older than the target demographic when I watched it. Because I watched it in, I think it was like beginning of university for me. Or middle? Beginning? I don't know. I watched it in university, I think, the first time. And I still really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well written, really good animation, and just overall very satisfying. Even like a lot of TV shows, I'll find that the ending kind of disappoints me, but it's fine because like the rest of the show is really good. But when I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender and I watched the ending was incredibly satisfying. Like the last couple episodes were some of the best in the entire show, which is very, I would say, rare for at least TV shows that I like. So I don't know. I just have from start to finish, I have a very good experience with Avatar: The Last Airbender. I just think it's one of the best shows. Watch Dragon Prince. Has seen like JoJo and half a Dragon Ball episode. I'll watch some animes. I am the doctor of anime. I kind of want to just dip out of this game. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we just lose. Maybe we'll give it another turn. But I don't think anybody can do anything. Yeah, that's a Scalding turn. All right. We'll keep up Ashiok's Erasure, but yeah, this is a nice promo art. I think part of the writing team on The Last Airbender worked on. Oh, okay, that kind of gets me more interested in watching a new show. Okay, I'll check it out. Do you like JoJo's? I like the memes from JoJo's. I won't say that it's my favorite show, but I did enjoy it. Like I watched the first 3 seasons or first 2 seasons. Yeah, the ones that are on Netflix with the dub. I watched those, and I did enjoy it overall. But I don't know, the last season, Stardust Crusaders or whatever, it felt kind of like a slog. Like there were a lot of episodes that I just didn't care about, and I don't really care about the cast too much. But it has a lot of really interesting moments. Like a lot of the fights are kind of interesting and gets me invested because they're so silly, but they have like underlying logic to them. So I liked it. It's not one of my favorite shows. I wouldn't rewatch it, but it was good for what it was. I think I'll get a lot of flack for that later on, but that's fine. Have a good night, Ben. Krim doesn't have a doctorate in anime. He's too busy avenging it. Yeah, well, Krim never watched JoJo, so there's that. So who's the real anime person? All right, they make us discard. Oh, they don't make us discard. They make Afro discard. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, I'm caught up to chat. I think so. Part 3 is definitely trash. Part 4 and 5 are amazing. I liked the ones with frick. I don't even remember all the JoJo names. Number 2, where they're like in like World War II and whatever. I actually like the protagonist on that. I think it was Joseph, Jonathan, one of them, one of the two. That one was my favorite of the bunch. But like the rest of the cast, I don't care for. But he was just very silly and over the top, and I enjoyed that a bunch. Um, yeah, JoJo's fine. I will watch. I will watch the next part too, the subbed version because it's not dubbed yet. Tomer, do you have an out, or is this basically a game? It's basically a game. Like, I don't really have an out. I have to draw a bunch of cards. If I have a mass bounce spell, then I can still get out of this. But at this point, I don't really have a lot of blue mana to work with. And Afro is locked out of the game because of the Blood Moon, and Tuk Tuk has no answers. And we need a bounce. We don't need we don't have a board wipe that can work. We need an actual bounce spell. Gray Merchant? I think Gray Merchant's gonna do it. Uh Maybe we bounce. What does it bounce? Actually, will Ashiok's Erasure this? We're just stalling the inevitable loss, but whatever. Part 4 and 5 are dub parts. 6, 7, 8 haven't been animated. 7 and 8 best part because, like, well, I'm not gonna read the manga though. I'm too lazy. My opponent would gain life. That player loses that my life instead. Okay. But you need to bring back the commander Andrew Insulted. The thing with Daxos of Meletis is every single time I put it up on a poll, people don't choose it. So at some point, I'm just not going to put it on a poll anymore. I'm just going to just choose it. And you all have to deal with that. But yeah, that was my mistake, because I put it up to the viewers, and the viewers chose wrong multiple times. It's Daxus and Nepala. I think Daxus and Nepala have been up on the polls the most, and people just don't pick it. So either you just don't think you know what they're capable of, and you don't think it's worth watching, or you don't know what it's capable of, and I'm going to make you see the light. Oh man, we are now JoJo chat. This is what happens. I have unpopular opinion there. I don't like some popular animes. Yeah. Tomer needs to watch Princess Tutu. I have no idea what these things are. I like to say that this whole board makes a Grixis deck, Tomer. Yeah, I mean, it is beautiful in a way. Beautiful in some way. Jobin is the man. Tomer, just play your boyfriend card. It's okay, we understand. I mean, I will. Zada is my favorite deck. Zada would just be like, I win on turn 3 or something. I don't think it's appropriate. Create a token as a copy of target non-token creature. We have nothing interesting to copy. It's really that Stranglehold is kind of stopping us from doing other interesting things. We can't really copy anything interesting. Oh, I guess we can copy the Bloodgift Demon. But then we can't bounce like the Liliana Vess or something. Do we want to bounce the Liliana Vess? I guess they have so much mana that doesn't matter, but whatever. I'll just show you the cool thing that this deck does. We'll just do cool things. We're not winning this. Alright, so in response... What? Oh, I don't have enough snow permanents. Man. I can't even activate the ability because of Blood Moon. Alright. Well, at least we get a Bloodgift Demon. Copied the Blood Moon for memes. Nah. Alright. We got nothing. Is this a professional anime stream that I hear of? Yes. I am definitely a doctor of anime, so I can tell you all your deepest anime secrets. It's fine. Do you think Krim is gonna assemble Cauldron before you on Commander Clash? That would be something. I don't know if Krim can live with that. I might have to target him first every single game just to make sure. Or I have to run black and run like what's it called? All those cards that like search target player's library and exile things. I'll just have to like run black and just remove them from his library every single game. I have assembled Cauldron. I just never assembled N1 of Cauldron. You can make a copy of Shatter Game and make everyone sacrifice their Sol Ring. I don't think that's worth. I really just want to lose already so I can jump into the next game. This game's kind of meh. You know this is not going to be something I'm going to show in the gameplay footage. This is going to be something we just quietly ignore. I'll give it one more turn. Going to use Cauldron from his deck and assemble it that way. Next level plays. That is still just insane that actually happened. Because the odds of him hitting one of my Cauldron pieces on top of my library when I had one in my hand, so there's only 2 in the deck, that was just next level. I kind of regret countering this, because then we would at least be dead. Is this a Christmas special? Kind of. It's a slightly modified, up-to-date version. Yeah, cascading into the shield was also pretty insane. Sacrifices two creatures. Okay. Yeah, we just got hammered this game. We got Cage Sun blown up, our Midnight Clock blown up, and our Dark Depths blown up. And losing everything meant that we just didn't have we didn't have a board state. And then, you know, Blood Moon and Stranglehold, making sure that we could really not tutor up any answers. So it's basically like the combination of everybody using the removal on me and Tuk Tuk making sure that nobody can have any sort of responses means that Teeler just is allowed to just win the game for free. We'll do one more draw step. I'm gonna draw 2 cards maybe and see if there's anything. I guess it was the hardest I've ever laughed for a while. Yeah. That was good. It was good. I'll admit it. It was good. There's always a feud. Every Commander Clash is a feud. It's an unspoken rule, I guess. It's not like I necessarily force it either. But it just so happens that every single season there's a new feud. Alright, I'm giving it one more turn. Alright, Tuk Tuk is dead. So we're gonna try to summon Cauldron, he's an imposter. Yeah. Do you pay 2 to prevent this? Yes. Sure. Okay, we got nothing. I'm conceding. Alright, that was a game. You know, sometimes some games are good, some games are like this. It happens. But we're gonna just run it back, and we're gonna run it back immediately. Okay, boom. Done. Okay, so Afro Magic managed to get into game 2 as well, and we got Ankylosaur. So they might actually show up in the most. They might actually be tied in the most gameplay abridged footage, assuming I use this gameplay abridged footage. All right, so Ankylosaur is running back the Halden Paco deck that we've seen in a previous game that I recorded. Then there's Renata, which is +1/+1 counters. Does have some combo potential as well. And Zedru the Greathearted, which is all about, you know, giving bad gifts and, you know, could be doing some interesting things as well. All right, this hand is fine, I guess. We have Sapphire Medallion. We have a Phaedo Alchemist. We have a lot of interaction that's early. We need to hit more lanes, and we need to hit card draw, though. But I guess it's not terrible. I will keep it. We'll keep it. There needs to be a Cauldron Reek where everybody but Tomer is running Cauldron, and it becomes Tomer's mission to either steal or prevent everyone from casting Cauldron. That sounds about right. Hearing that says weird for food aversion is funny. Yeah, that was eye-opening for sure. Do we ever have feuds? We're friends. We're always friends. All right, let's Do that. Deck list is here. Let me guys win more because of the history you guys have with each other. Yeah, we're definitely not shy towards each other. That is true. Dun, dun, dun. All right, we're not hitting lands, which kind of sucks. But at least we have a turn 2 Sapphire Medallion. Hopefully we can do something beyond that. And Cauldron Week. Creamer would not have Cauldron pieces, just a way to steal Cauldron pieces from decks. That would be very Crim to do. Okay. Hopefully this game is okay. I don't know. Maybe we kept a pretty bad hand. I don't know. Maybe 2 lands was a bit too greedy. I could see us not keeping this. Because we have like a bunch of Heidar payoff cards. Like all these cards are Heidar payoff cards, but we're so far away from casting Heidar. So I think we probably made a mistake. Oh boy. I really don't want to do a game 3. That's going to be unfortunate. We have to go to game 3 for a good game. Okay. Erasure taps out. Oh, not Dark Depths. That's not good. You don't want to see that. Alright, Sapphire Medallion, go. Next time there's a video or games week, probably going to run H-Stone and just try to turn 1 EDH deck. That's evil. Yeah, this is a bad keep, I think. And we're getting punished for it pretty hard. Sorry to borrow tournament. Do you ever still play your Dragon tribal deck? I was thinking about building it. Yeah, it's still my favorite deck that I have a physical copy of. Until I think my Kiri deck's done. Run Rift and say you have the money. You can after rules. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh would be pretty funny. My next video game deck is going to be Metal Gear Solid. That's a nice one. I have a lot of fond memories of the Metal Gear Solid franchise. Number 3 is the best, by the way. Sandwiches must be dry. Cereal with milk on the side, something in the back. No, that's like a serial killer does it. That's awful. You hit your land drop. We hit the wrong land drop, yeah. Alright, we're caught up on chat. Mesmeric Orb? What is this combo of Mesmeric Orb? Okay. Alright. Rhystic Study would have been really nice to see here. What do we want to do? I think we want to cast a Pheto Alchemist and Reality Acid. What? What do we want to Reality Acid? Maybe the Mesmeric Orb? I'm not really sure what's going on with that. It's one or the other. Let's get rid of the Mesmeric Orb. Yeah, it seems like it's a combo piece of some sort, so getting rid of it probably is for the best. I can't imagine Mono Green wanting to self-mill for any other reason. Or to mill for any other reason other than combo. For you, Tomer's everything tribal. He periodically updates it. Yeah, at the end of the primer is my up to date list. It's always up to date. This is directly linked to the thing that I curate. You added Triumphs of Ikoria in your Changeling tribal. Yeah, I didn't have fetch lands yet. The only thing I have to do is update the fact that I have fetch lands in the deck now. But now I have fetches and shocks in the deck, so it's a little bit more. What the heck was that? So it's a little bit more. Oh, deal damage to each creature without flying. Okay. Well, Federal Alchemist down. Yeah, the tribal deck is slightly slightly needs an update. Just I need to put in the fetch lands, but I'll do that like this weekend. Doing like 5. The game was good. I think 3 was its peak though. Secret mono green mill is lots of mana into Sands of Delirium. I mean, it could work, but you don't really need the orb for that. I feel like I played against mono green mill a bit in the last Command Fest. I mean, you can Ashaya combo can mill people out. All right, Winter Orb is not a card that I want to be casting right now. We're gonna cast a Dark Depths and pass. I guess I just kept a bad hand and I'm getting punished. Man. Oh, man. This is beans. If I just had the Rhystic Study, that would have been great. I would have just dropped the Rhystic Study and I would just outdraw my way out of this. How many paper decks do you own? Good question. I don't know off the top of my head. 1, 2... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I own seven commander decks right now. I proxy your deck till I built it really low deck. Awesome. Glad you like it. New Ashaya combo so hard. Yeah. Krim enjoyed the new Ashaya combo, didn't you, Kim? yeah. I won't spoil anything, but I did play Ashaya this coming week, so if you want to see Ashaya comboing, might be a good episode to tune into. I need a break from turn-based combat. I'm 200 hours into the Trails game. I mean, next turn-based combat deck that I need a break from turn-based combat. Oh, yeah, the next turn-based combat game that I'm going to be playing is 100% Baldur's Gate. I'm super psyched for it. I just want to play it and not do anything else. I want to take a vacation and just hibernate for like a month and just play the heck out of it. But I'm biding my time. I have it ready. It's downloaded and ready for Friday, and I'm so excited. Everything Tribal is one of the most fun decks I've played. Awesome! Glad you like it. I keep wanting to build a second deck. I can never just find more product. There are cheats. So, for example, what I recently started doing, and the reason why I said I'm going to have fetches in my everything tribal deck, is I actually only have one copy of each card. And I'm going to be doing a swap system where, like, I tweeted about it recently, but like Jennifer from previous Commander Clashes, Miss Mulligan, she has a system where she has a binder and she only has one play set of each card, and oh boy, this is not working out. We'll play a Swiftfoot Boots, I guess. The way she does it is the decks that share whatever cards she wants to be sharing, she'll put like a proxy into it. Like just basically like a basic land with Sharpie on it that says like what deck it is and what card that's supposed to represent. And she has a binder with the real cards in them, and she swaps them in whenever she needs to. So like if she needs a Polluted Delta, for example, her deck will have like a proxied up, like a basic just sharpied on Polluted Delta and the name of the deck and the section in her binder where you could find it. And so when she puts a Polluted Delta into her deck, she swaps it out with the proxy card and she puts it in her binder. So when she opens up her binder and she doesn't make the swap back sometime later, she knows exactly which cards have been swapped out and where they are. So she'll open her binder. She's like, "Where's my Polluted Delta? Which deck did I put it in?" And in its place is going to be Polluted Delta, like whatever deck the Polluted Delta is in and what section it's in. So it's a really smart way of basically like just reusing your more expensive cards, because like it feels really bad to like, I don't know. It's hard for me to justify in my brain buying like multiple play sets of like multiple sets of fetches and stuff and like really expensive cards that are like at least like $20 or above. I just because I want to have it in more than one deck feels really bad for me. So I'm trying not to do that. But this method lets you just like have one copy of each, or the bare minimum copies you need, and you just swap it in between all the decks, and you'll never forget where the card is because you have like this little token, this proxy system. So, yeah, or just proxy. I mean, I'm always an advocate of proxying cards. I don't think there should be a stigma against it if you're not using it for tournament play or something. You just like put a little piece of paper and you write whatever card you want. I don't know. That's just me though. That's just me. I've stolen 3 decks from Tober. Everything tribal: Toshiro, Mizawa, and Sayona. That's a nice selection. They're quite different, so rad. I have to keep taking apart decks because they don't fit in my bag anymore. That is a situation I've never fallen into myself, but that's rad. I built Edric deck in paper. It was budgeted on initially, not anymore. That's the same with me. I wrote about budget Edric, and then I built budget Edric, and then I just slowly made it my competitive deck. It's not very competitive. It's still semi-budget, but it's very strong. I've got like 24, but I like to share with people. Oh, that's sick. So you have enough for your play group at all times. That's cool. Super cool to be talking with Tomer and Crib in chat. Aw, awesome. Glad you can join us, Tanner. I need to play something else soon. Being constant will says not to buy. Yeah. I'm trying not to get Baldur's Gate 3 because I know that's going to be a rabbit hole. It's going to be insane. I'm so stoked for it. I'm a red mage and have a Hazaret and a good chunk of red cards, so like 30% of the deck. Just can't buy the rest. Yeah, I mean, I personally advocate like proxy the cards that you don't have yet and see which ones you like the most, and then eventually if you do want to buy them, then you buy them. That's like always been my strategy. And then if you have those cards in other decks, and maybe consider like, swapping in between them and everything. Except Rotwolf. I remember those in old Commander classes. Yeah, Rotwolves were when we don't have a hand, I just used a joke. There was one time when we were playing Rotwolf, like somebody was playing Rotwolf, and then Tom just kept saying like, "But Rotwolf? But Rotwolf?" And it just like made me laugh so much. I can't make a good imitation of it, but that episode just cracked me up so much. So then every single time when we didn't have a real hand, I just put Rotwolf with question marks. All right, we got rid of the Mythos. We got some card draw too. That's good. So we're slowly getting into the game. It's like nobody's really doing anything this game, which is kind of nice. What? I don't even know what did. Someone let me know what the acidic slime ended up killing, because I have no idea. I was not paying attention to this game at all because I've just been doing nothing. Let's just play Heidar, I guess. Yeah, I have no idea where we are in the context of the game. I'm assuming we're super far behind, but that's fine. But the Cyberpunk's a game that I'm really excited for too. I played Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. So it's the same company that makes it. Obviously, it's going to be very good. Colorless for the win. I love colorless as a deck concept. It's a little bit more expensive just in general to make, so that's why I never really covered it in budget commander. But the deck that I really want to cover at some point is Kozilek the Great Distortion. It's one of my favorite commanders. It's very unique, and it's all about basically being in colorless. You just jam your deck full of a lot of mana rocks, like way more mana rocks than you generally do in most decks. Because by the time you get empty-handed, you'll have enough mana to cast Kozilek, your commander, and when Kozilek is cast, you immediately refill your hand. And it's very hard to disrupt that. So I really like that idea of being like this like super heavy mana rock ramp deck that ramps out your commander very consistently. Okay, that's fine. Ramps out your commander very consistently, and then what? No, I wanted it. Man, it was supposed to go on top of my. I was gonna let it go to my library. Oh boy. Oh well, whatever. That was a goops. I thought it would just go to my library, so I didn't have to make any changes. But I guess, but the default is that it just goes to your command zone if it goes to your library, which I guess it makes sense because if it gets like a tuck effect, then it gets shuffled into your library. You don't necessarily want it to do that, and you put it in your command zone. But I did not think about if it would go on top of my library, it would do the exact same thing. Paco's definitely a scary target, though. Heidar would have been a nice way of stopping it, obviously, but that's not happening now. Yeah, so Kozilek would be a really fun thing to cover at some point. So my Lily Tribal sort of went off. Yeah, I ate all the removal, and then Blood Moon and Stranglehold stopped anything from happening. That was kind of unfortunate, I would say. Then a Karn's Tesla dealership. Karn can drive vehicles, no need to crew. Yeah, that's a pretty sweet idea too. I'll have to reuse this technique. I'm trying to build a deck for each color set, reusing my cards across decks. Yeah, I think that's like if people aren't cool with proxying, which I mean I understand if people aren't comfortable with that. The next way to save a lot of money is having a binder of like shared cards that are staples and are kind of expensive. It's not a lot of work to swap them in and out of your decks. You just have to make sure that you keep track of it. And if you have a binder system, which basically lets you like figure out where the board card is at all times, then it takes out a lot of the guesswork. And I mean, it takes a couple seconds to swap the cards in and out. So, especially if you have the same sleeve, then there's even one less process if you have all the same color sleeves. Hey, Tomer, I made your Eureka deck with a few tweaks. Awesome. Yeah, that probably needed a few tweaks because I literally built it like in a couple minutes, but it's a very strong deck, very consistent deck. Knowing how lands are the best cards in the game. Yeah. I'm just doing it for basically the fetch lands, but I'm going to start adding like other cards as needed. But right now, just the fetch lands, like one of each fetch land. I don't want to buy more than one of each fetch land because you're never going to be using more than one of each fetch land in Commander, right? Because it's singleton. So in my brain, I can't justify buying more than one at a time. That is me though. If you have blue in your vehicles, you can also throw an Insult Artifact. Yeah, you can animate them a bunch of ways. Yeah. We're gonna auto yield, I think. At this point, I want to build like 3 decks, and I don't know which to choose to build. Roll the dice. What do you suggest for draw support in green, black, white mutate life gains deck? Oh, green, black, white. So your best colors for drawing cards in general in that deck probably is going to be green cards like Return of the Wild Speaker and Rishkar's Expertise and Hunter's Prowess and Hunter's Insight, because mutate decks are usually go tall decks. So if you have a very high, if you consistently have a very large creature, then green is going to get you the most bang for your buck. Black is also just really good in general. You can run stuff like ambitions, cost, and the other ones like where you pay 4 and you draw 3. Okay, so we just don't have answers to. I guess we could put it in icy prison. Man, I don't want to waste my entire turn just doing that though. That sucks. But I think we have to. We're just like getting crushed. Maybe we just time of ice it. We could just time of ice and pass. I think we just do that. Oh man, we're just like, it's so clunky right now. We just have nothing. We are doing nada. I was expecting a slightly better game, to be honest. But it seems like this was definitely my fault. Last game we had like a great start, and we got like 3 of our permanents destroyed, and then Blood Moon and Strangleholded. So that I don't think there's anything we could have done there. This game though, I think I kept the bad hand. I should have mulled aggressively, and also not milling the Ristic Study would have been great too. Trying to catch up with chat still. I don't even know where I was. Okay, I think I found where we were. Definitely recommend proxy before committing to buy. Most players online. I mean, that's like when I started playing Commander in Commander in 2011 or whenever the first Commander set came out. My playgroup was all about proxies. That's how they worked essentially. Like they would proxy up like most of their deck, and then over time they'd start to trade and buy towards the cards they like. It's also a great way to make sure that you're playtesting the cards, and yeah, you get to playtest them and make sure that you actually like the cards, because it really feels bad if you like spend $50 on an expensive card and then you find out you don't actually like the card, or you get bored of the card very quickly, or you get bored of the deck very quickly, and then you've sunk in all this money, and you could trade or sell it, but you're not going to get as much value, and that takes time as well, and it just feels bad. So I always recommend proxying, just like Krim says. Always recommend proxying before you buy. I've never came into a playgroup where it was an issue. Easy budget win is Lazav with Etrata. So you can keep swapping Lazav and keeping Etrata on the battlefield. That's pretty sweet. I have at least one of every color choice, red being my favorite. I have 6 mono red decks, including Zada and Chandra Tribal. Awesome. I also have a Chandra deck that I'm slowly building. And Zada I was thinking about building, but like I already have Siona as like a super budget-friendly combo deck, and Zada is going to be just, same thing. So if I didn't have Siona, I probably would have built Zada, though. Return the Wild Speaker, sweet. Can Seth make a proxy deck entirely of Haven and the Spirit Dragon? Probably could. What's your fave from each color? Slime killed Renata. Oh, Slime killed Renata. Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. Hey, can you actually use Heidar this time? Heidar just got murked, so I don't know. So he's going to cost 7 to cast. That's the problem with Heidar. Heidar is not a great commander because he costs so much mana. Unfortunately. Probably my favorite green card draw. Used to be cheap. Guardian Project is very solid, yeah. There's been a spike in commander cards. Yeah. Guardian Project kind of expensive. Beast Whisperer is the exact same thing, but on a creature. Generally, not the exact same thing. One's a cast trigger, one's an enter the battlefield trigger for non-tokens. But, they usually fill the same role. I do like, for like bigger creature decks, I really like Hunter's Prowess, Hunter's Insight, Return of the Wild Speaker, Rishkar's Expertise, just because I generally value burst draw over incremental draw, if that makes sense. Um, Not that like Beast Whisperer and Guardian Project are necessarily incremental draw because you can get multiple draws each turn. But I like dropping down a card that's just like you draw 8 cards. Your hand is now full. Have fun. It's like very efficient for the amount of mana you spent, and it's immediate, which I really like. You should always have like a mixture, obviously, but um, I tend to value burst draw more than incremental. I don't know why I went on a ramble there. I think I need another coffee, friends. um, Mythic lands are always a travesty for print runs. Yeah, most of them are, I guess. I think like it's the Zendikar ones aren't that expensive, which is really nice. Why the heck is mono green running Quirion Dryad? I have no idea. That's a good question. I have no idea what this card's in the deck. That is a good question indeed. You're just looking for an excuse to play Hedron Archive? I would never. They're going to exile with Paco anyway. Yeah. The thing I like about Zendikar Rising is they give you perfect proxy cards. Yeah. The cards that come in there. Yeah, the check lands or whatever. Check mark cards. The list for all 32 is a little long. Monocolored, it's Krenko, Feralius, Erebos, Tolerant, and Runetail. 32 decks, man. That's respect. Sad part of Zendikar Rising, they could have reprinted duels as MDFCs. Maybe. I don't even know what we tap. Like, I'll tap the Avenger. All right. We don't hit a land. We could draw cards, but like, we can't even cast like Cage Sun. We're so far behind. Ugh. What do we do? We're like dead to the Avenger of Zendikar real soon. Is there anything in our deck that we can tutor up that can just like randomly help us here? We could cast like Tribute Mage and cast a 2-mana spell, but artifact, but there's really just nothing. Like I don't know. I don't know. This might be a short one, friends. This might be a short one. And inactivity. All right, we're just gonna cast. We're gonna cast Gadwick. Hope we hit another land, I guess. I don't know. Done? I think. All right. Draw some cards. We're just trying to... Okay, we hit a land. That's kind of nice, I guess. We will equip Gadwick with the boots, and that's pretty much it. We're going to discard a bunch of cards. Unfortunately, there's just not much we're doing here. Let's get rid of... Let's have target creature. Okay, we don't need 2 free from the reels. Probably don't need Narset. We don't need... Canis is kind of slow. Probably the Chalice we don't need. And the Tribute Mage we probably don't need. And the Ashiok. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe we should have just discarded the Ashiok. Because Ashiok's kind of slow. Really slow. Most of this deck is slow, though. Bum, 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 bum. Is there a plan to swap them out as you play, or just have a binder handy to prove your own You own the proxy card. I plan on swapping them in and out. So we're playing with Snowlands. Is this even allowed? Yep. There's no way, but it is possible. They can be. Let me auto yield. Wow. Catching up. What would you recommend for a budget removal in a Bant deck? Budget removal. It depends on what you consider budget, but like Swords of Plowshares, I think is still under $2. That's always like number one. Number Kenworth's Transformation is definitely under a dollar. No, is really solid. I don't know how much rapid hybridization and Pongify is these days, but it's a couple dollars, so I don't know if that would be within your budget. Reality Shift should be a little bit cheaper than the other two options, and that's pretty good. There was a new like M21 card in white that like exiles and gives them a 4/4 Angel. That one's pretty good. Path to Exile is also good. Nature's Claim is another staple that I know is under a dollar. Yeah, those could be a good start. Soul's Majesty draws cards equal to power 2. Yeah, those are really good. Oh, I'm just very behind in the chat, aren't I? For a blue deck, this seems like it's lacking card draw. Card draw has been from the. I mean, I have Gadwick. The problem is I just didn't have like I have Gadwick on the battlefield, and I have Rhystic Study in the graveyard. I have a lot of card draw on the deck. It's just, and I also just discarded a Narset. But I guess this is a pretty delayed response. But yeah, the deck has a lot of mana or a lot of card draw. Just not. It's just everything that it does requires. It has a lot of card draw. Just everything it does requires a ton of mana because all of Heidar's tricks are very expensive. It's a 5 mana commander, and then it costs another 2 just to activate it. So. It's just a slow deck. That's the crux of it. It's a slow deck, and it's hard for it to catch up when it starts from behind. And we had a really poor start at the beginning. Tomer in chat, has anyone thought about making tap tribal where all creatures have tap effects? I mean, you could do that with Zerda or something. Hey, it's late. I'm gonna sleep now. Watch Princess. Do. Have a good night. I was making Cheerios for mono white. That doesn't actually feel white to me, if that makes sense. Yeah, that could work. Jeff, good night, Jeff. What's up, Logan? Hey, Ethan. Super late on the chat, but there's a lot to catch up, so I'm trying to catch up. Can feel pretty white with Aetherflux Reservoir. I mean, Teshar feels not like a white deck, honestly. I mean, it deals with historic cards, but I think that's like a good way of playing mono white, but not necessarily playing like a mono white deck. I get bored of my Animar deck so quickly. In which deck could I use those cards? It depends on what Animar deck you run. I know there's Animorphs, and then there's like Animar combo, but it would depend on the cards themselves. I probably should make it Sindri self-driving cards. You can power the vehicles. It's good, yeah. The Paul is also very good for vehicles. Got a joy of vehicles. It's crazy to think these days Phyrexian Arena is no longer considered good enough for a lot of commander decks. There are so many new and better options. I think Phyrexian Arena is still a solid option. It's just that I think people, I don't think it's even like a power creep issue. I think it's more just like people have figured out what are more efficient ways of drawing cards. Like Phyrexian Arena has always been the standard when people think of card draw. But it's really slow. Like, it only draws you a single card per turn. And a lot of the better card draw options in black generally can draw you more than one card each turn. And they're not necessarily like new cards, like Ambition's Cost and stuff. Ancient Craving are not new cards, or Promise to Power. But it's just, I think as people have played the game more, played Commander more often, and there's more people tweeting about it, and the information is more available to everybody on top of your experiences, people just kind of got around to the fact that like games don't last like 20 plus turns, so drawing cards faster is just more important. but Phyrexian Arena's not a bad card. Like I will still run it in some decks because I value incremental card draw as well. It's just that you need a mix between the two, I think. Oh boy, I can't ramble though, or else I fall too far behind. I wouldn't trust the judge. Do you think Angelic Ascension is worth it in Commander, or is it downside too big? I mean, I think it's still worth it. It's a fine budget inclusion. But that 4/4 Angel is going to still beat your face. I still think it's worth it though. Stick Winter Orb. I mean, what will Winter Orb do? Like this is a lethal board state. Even if I stick the Winter Orb. As soon as they put the Avenger on the battlefield, that was it. Treasure Mage for Winter Orb and cast it. I have Winter Orb in my hand. Frogify. Fade Away would be nice right now. Yeah, Fade Away would be nice. I got 5 cards in the library with a $25. 5 cards in the library with a $25 Garga's like, sweet. Yeah. Green can draw tons of cards. Am I almost caught up? Ooh, mono white discussion. I didn't even prompt it. Yeah. Latevar, who is the commander? It's Heidar. Heidar, the guy who costs way too much mana. I don't know. I'm kind of, I don't know. We're getting to the point where getting like a game 3 in is going to get a little bit dicey for my sleep schedule. But I really, this deck is not working out so well. What is this? Record what you just did. Get out of here. What is this thing? How do I get rid of it? All right, return all tap creatures to their hands. Fine. That's not even that great because it bounces the Avenger. I was hoping somebody would have an answer to this board state, but like, yeah. I don't know, man. What do we do here? Why do I own Font of Mythos? Oh, Zedru gave it to me. Just nobody has an answer to the board state. This is very unfortunate. Yeah, I just have a bunch of cards that just don't... Ah, man. I can drop Cage Sun, and then I have like 2 mana to work with, and I can cast nothing important. I can drop Tidal Force and just start tapping things down. But I just think we're super dead. If I drop Winter Orb, I just die, right? Like I drop Winter Orb and then everybody attacks me. That doesn't seem like a correct play. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna drop Cage Sun. And if people kill me, then go for it. At this point, I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna troll. I'm gonna drop the Winter Orb. I don't care. We'll just drop a Winter Orb. And then hopefully that'll prompt them to kill me. And then we'll go to game 2. Or game 3, rather. Alright. We are caught up on chat. I don't have answers to the support state. And I kind of want to just get killed already. So we're just going to drop a Winter Orb. Send a message as we go out. And there are super good snow cards in black and green and white. Yeah. It's hard. Being in monocolor for snow is definitely difficult. I think in call time there's going to be a lot of sweet cards to deal with that, but right now it's doesn't matter. So I anticipate that we're going to die right now, so I'm going to auto yield until our next turn. I'm going to grab some water and I'm going to get mentally prepared for. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make a coffee because I am falling asleep. I'm going to make a coffee. I'll be back in 2 minutes. You can enjoy me dying now that I play a Winter Orb. Imagine Dead of Winter right now. Yeah. In call time, I'm sure we're going to get some snow covered, multicolored legendaries. But right now, the only one we have is Heidar, and Heidar is kind of meh. Heidar is kind of meh. But keep in mind, chat did pick this. Chat did pick to play Heidar this week. So this is something that people wanted to see. Unfortunately, it hasn't been panning out though. All right, so we'll be back shortly while we die. So I will be back very soon. 2 minutes, chat. Enjoy watching me die. Oh no. Oh no, it made me want to block. Oh boy. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. No. I didn't mean to do that. I just wanted to get some water. I got water and coffee. Why am I still alive? Oh boy. I was hoping I would be dead by now. Yeah, I was frozen. Oh boy. That was awkward. Oops. Hopefully I didn't have to wait too long. Because you blocked. I mean, they still have to correctly attack me, right? Alright, hopefully we die now. Is Winter Orb for flavor, or are we playing a stacks deck? It's more of a flavor choice, but Heidar can bounce our Winter Orb before our untap phase, so all our lands untap, and then we just replay Winter Orb. So it's a bit of a combo with attack me! No! Attack me! Why aren't they killing me? Oh man. I wanted to die. I wanted to die. He blocked into this face. Oh yeah, I could have. I wanted them to actually kill me. What are your favorite snow puns? Just basically the Batman movie. The like ice to meet you, everybody chill. Arnold Schwarzenegger has already reached the peak of snow puns. Sorry for blowing up 90% of your stuff the first game. No worries, Afro. They were like the correct choices. It just was that happened, and then the Liliana deck just kind of like got to do everything, and then Stranglehold and Blood Moon made sure we didn't have any answers. It was just like unfortunate sequencing. All right, we're not. All right, I'm done. I want to get one good game in. It's 8 o'clock for me right now. I'm tired, and I want to get one good game in, just in case we can use this for a bridge gameplay next week. I didn't want to concede. I wanted them to just kill me, but that is how it is sometimes. All right, we're going for one more game, one more attempt. Hopefully, we get a game where Heidar actually gets to do something. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Who knows? Last attempt of the night to see if Heidar does things. I think also the sad thing about Heidar is if we get to do things, our opponents don't get to do things. That's how the Heidar plays. So it's not actually like in our opponent's interest to let us play. And the problem with Heidar is even though he gets a lot of hate, he's not actually the strongest commander. So it's kind of like a lose-lose situation. Okay, so we have 3 lands. We can turn 3 Myriad Landscape. We have some card draw in our hands. Kind of late game-ish, but this seems fine. I don't know. I could mulligan more aggressively, but we have 3 lands in our hand. We have a little bit of ramp. I think this is fine. Karametra, Reaper King, Kineos, and Tyra. All right. Let's keep it. If it doesn't work out, it's fine. Whatever. We tried. Maybe the Heidar dream just isn't working out. Afro Magic gets to see your hand. I mean, most of the people who play, most of the people who jump into the games are viewers, right? So if they wanted to see my hand, they can at any point. But I assume most of them are not, right? Like I don't think people want to, like, people who are playing against me are fans. I don't think they're gonna be checking my hand. That seems unlikely. So even if they have the opportunity to, I don't think they do it. Certainly, it hasn't ever felt like that was the case, honestly. Reaper can be very annoying for sure. We don't have like actual. We don't have a lot of removal. We have bounce, and that doesn't really affect Reaper King that much. But whatever. So turn 2, we have a Swiftfoot Boots. Turn 3, we have Myriad Landscape. Hopefully stuff works out. I don't know. Yeah, Tomer wins the game. No way. I booked it out of there. I was tired. I'm on the clock, you guys. I don't have infinite time. That's the thing. Most of the time, I don't. I'm gonna play it out. I don't care. But right now, I'm on the clock. I need to go to bed afterwards, and I need to get a game that is worth, you know, going back and editing into an actual nice abridged gameplay video. So that is when I'll use the concede button. Usually don't like conceding, but for the sake of the channel content, I will use the concede button every once in a while. All right, let's Swiftfoot Boots. Next turn we'll Mirror Landscape and do it big. It's a good call. It's a good hand. Omni Tribal Hype. I'm probably sure this is just like either he's just running all the bad scarecrows and vindicating a bunch of stuff, or he's running like, you know, Conspiracy Arcane Adaptation to turn all his creatures into scarecrows and win that way. I'm assuming it's the latter. I've seen that a bunch. It's kind of like Reaper King's kind of like definitely not a commander that I like because it's very much either Reaper King, like most Reaper King decks I don't like. I'll preface that actually. Because Reaper King, either it does its thing and it just blows up everybody's board, or Reaper King gets shut down and literally the deck does nothing. It's very much, it's all in. It either does something and just, you know, blows up everybody's stuff, or it does nothing and then it's just not a deck. That's my experiences. That's like 99% of Reaper King decks are just that. But maybe it's different. Maybe this one is different. Who knows? Hopefully Kaldheim will give us more fun snow cards and more commanders that use snow too. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I think that's going to happen. I think everybody's expecting snow as a major theme, so it'd be crazy if they didn't. I think snow in general is kind of popular, but you just have to be careful with snow as a subtype. The issue with snow is like, I think I've always stated I feel like it's almost a design issue because like snow doesn't seem like it's part of its like having the snow attribute, at least for basic lands, is not part of its power budget. It's just like a freebie, so it's free power. The rest of the snow cards seem like they're kind of balanced around the fact that they have an extra subtype that's super useful. So we'll see what they do with Kaldheim. Definitely don't want to just see like, here are all the really good cards you know and love, but they have snow added to them, so now they're even better. I feel like that's just bad design. But I don't know. I'm getting rambly. I'm getting rambly and cranky, I think, as we're getting later in the night. I'm just getting negative and such. I apologize. I'll just have more of my coffee and wake up a bit. I think Kaldheim will be fun though. Basically, just like take Skyrim, you know, take all the pop culture Nordic stuff that people like, mash them together, put a Magic the Gathering backdrop on them. It'll be good. It'll be good. How do we draw Dark Depths every single game? We've drawn it 3 out of 3 games. Somehow. Never when we want to see it. We could play Gadwig and draw one card. I don't think we have any other particularly interesting plays, so I guess we just do that. I don't know. There's nothing else, right? We just want to keep hitting land drops. So X equals 1. Draw a card. Oh, okay. I mean, we could. The nice thing about Gadwig is we can bounce it back to our hand with Gadwig or with Heidar, and then draw more cards later on. All right, we nailed it. Put this on Gadwig. Oh, we can play another land. I forgot. Thank you, Rite of Flourishing. Let's hit Cyberpal. I think that's the most scary right now. I assume Calhoun will give you more warriors for your warrior deck. It's possible. It's possible. Anything's possible. But I think my warrior deck's pretty full on warriors, though. Best ramp card, Reaper King, just play. I don't know what. Oh, yeah. No. Absolutely not. Snow Cauldra. I mean, there's crazier things out there, I guess. On YouTube, do Twitch commands work? I don't think so. You're blue. Just pretend you have counterspell, and no one else will play anything good either. The problem is, if I pretend I have counterspell up, I have to keep yields up, and that means I can't interact with chat as much. So I basically need to tap out and let everybody do whatever they want. Okay. So we're up against Group Hug. Group Hug is actually good for us just because our deck is so slow and cumbersome. It helps. It's good for everybody, obviously, but allowing us to get more lands into play is kind of really good for us. So that's useful, I guess. Put a land into the battlefield. No. Draw a card. Okay, we got Seagate Restoration. So we're slowly getting to the point where we can do things, which is nice. Let's see what type of deck that Reaper King is. I'm still assuming it's just like, drop an arcane adaptation, all that such, all that jam. I'm so glad you started streaming. I love Commander. Oh, thanks, Victor. By the way, nice revenge on Crim last Commander Clash. Thank you. Revenge is pretty sweet. I won't lie. All right, so our plan here, I think, is just to I don't even know. Maybe I'll Icy Prison that. We definitely don't want Reaper King to stick around and cast Scarecrows, because then, we're just all our stuff just gets vindicated. That is definitely a bad. Don't want that to happen. Karametra is sweet. Can't wait to see what they have in store. I mean, Karametra is fantastic. It's very hard to interact with, and it's just insane ramp, right? It's a really good commander. Every single time I see it, I'm very impressed. All right, Mirari's Wake is very scary. So what do we do? What do we do? All right, we have High Tide. High Tide's actually interesting. Oh, we have Thespian Stage 2. Okay. So we're going to Seagate. So if we do Seagate Restoration, we can High Tide, and we have 10 mana to work with. Then we can start bouncing stuff with Galecaster Colossus. I don't mind that. Or we could do High Tide. We do High Tide, and then we have 8 mana. We can cast Galecaster Colossus. And then we still have enough mana to Thespian Stage? No, we don't. So 10, this would be 7, and then we can 1,000-year Elixir. And I think that would probably be best. Alright, let's... Alright, good night, Porter. I'm going to play Seagate Reborn. Would he play 3 life? Yes. I'm going to cast High Tide. Draw more? I don't think we need to draw more. Oh, we can play an additional land this turn. I forgot. Dark Depths taps for mana? I don't think it does. Okay, we might be able to just do everything we wanted then. Yeah, we get Dark Depths right now and equip it with the Swift Boots and start smacking people. Oh, yeah, it taps for mana. Right. Right. Okay, I think we just do that. Tap. Is this good? I think this is good. Oh, response? Ah, okay. People usually do have responses for the Dark Depths combo. Shame. Okay. Let's move this over to the elephant. And I don't know. Attack you. Probably should have tapped down their lanes and moved phases. Can it tap down? It's non-lands. You can't tap down with Gadwick. It's fine though. Okay, so we're going to bounce the Reaper King. Probably bounce like Mirari's Wake. Yeah, Gadwick's still very good. the combo here of Gadwick is like I can bounce everything with Scourge of Fleets and still have good value. Casting Illusionist Abrasive have been better. Well, I was gonna make a 2020 with flying in indestructible and Swift of Boots it and punch somebody in the face. That's a 2-turn clock. I think that would be better. Though Galecaster Colossus with Blazers is also very insane. Let's see what happens here. Big spell. Okay. Okay. Got Dismiss into Dream in the deck. I mean, Heidar bounces the creature, so I think that's kind of redundant. I mean, Bracers is 5 mana to cast and equip. But I only had 1 extra mana, so I couldn't have cast Bracers. All right. Sure. Maybe, looking back now, maybe drawing more was not the correct choice. I'm not sure what that's a reference to. But you could have played it and equipped. That is an option with equipment, you know. But then I couldn't have made a 2020 flying 2-turn clock with haste. I feel like that would have. I feel like that's the better play, right? Like, you make it 2020, you start punching people in the face, and they have 2 turns to deal with a flying indestructible. Actually, they have 1 turn, right? Like, they would immediately have haste and hexproof. I feel like that's definitely the better play here. Group Hug is definitely making this interesting. I'm not sure if it's helping in. Dismiss would destroy them entirely, though, meaning less ways to replay. I mean, yeah, it could be good. I don't have it in the deck, though. Alright, let's see some Scarecrows. I'm going to bounce in response. Alright. Bounce. This could turn. Do you know of any ways to punish hand sizes in Commander? I'm new to the archetype. Jin Cataxius makes it that you have no. Your hand size is like 1 or something. So that's a way to do it. Is there a deck list? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, Cyber Insanity is another one, Arachthos. Windfall is another one. Any wheel is another one. You just get rid of their hand. All right, Reaper King's back. I'm not gonna deal with it right now. I want to deal with the Mirari's Wake. Ah, okay. Well. Well, the Karamatcha player gets to do whatever. Problem is now, Karamatcha has like a billion cards in hand and like 9 infinite mana. So I think we just lose. But I had to stop the Reaper King from just like starting to blow up the entire board. Yeah, I think now that if the Karamatcha player doesn't have anything, then I would be incredibly surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just like win the game at this point. You have 9 cards in hand, and you have 2 additional land drops, and you have Mirari's Wake on the battlefield. Probably just gonna lose now. You might have earned goodwill from Reaper King by answering Mirari's Wake. I would have answered the Mirari's Wake, and then he would have just blown up the Colossus. Like there was no way the Colossus was surviving. And Colossus is the only way I have to really deal with the Reaper King at instant speed. I have Icy Prison, but that would have I'd have to wait until my turn. I didn't actually want to lose my Caster Colossus because it's kind of good. All right, opponent gets to go crazy. Yep. Yep. Yeah, we didn't. The problem with the mono blue deck is we just don't have any answers to all the enchantments and artifacts. So this is kind of insane. So Tomer, what do you think of Obun? I think he's good. The problem is that he's not 4-color Omnath. 4-color Omnath is just generally better. But Obun's kind of interesting in that. Okay, we're getting here for 7. Obun's kind of interesting in that he deals with like land animation in green. The only other like commander that I know that animates lands really efficiently in green, there's like Jolriel, which is not really great. I mean, it's great in a gimmicky, in like a old school style, but I don't think she's aged that well. And then there's like Noyan Dar, but he's not in green, so he's kind of awkward. All right, what do we do here? We didn't hit any lands, which is kind of awkward. We can bounce all cards back to people's hands. Does this have to be a sacrifice? Yeah. So we can Illusions Bracers. So this would be 5. Whoops. Okay, so we get Illusionist Bracers, put it on the Galecaster, and then we get like double the blink. Or double the bounce. We get a lot of bounce actually off this. So we put that on the Colossus. We play the Alchemist. Guess it doesn't really matter. We'll just tap this. Make him use it. Make him have it. You had infinite mana there? Alchemist, Bracers, and Boots? What generates mana, though? Because this can untap target artifact or creature, but I don't have an artifact that generates mana. Or a creature that generates mana. Now we could play Wayfarer's Bauble, but I think we just want to protect our Colossus here. So we're going to pay the 1. And I think we're just going to hold off like that. And that'll be it, I think. Oh, right. That. Okay, let's bounce you. I forgot about that. Okay. Spotlighting ignores your hexproof, yes, but he has to still crack it. I want him to crack it. We have a pretty disgusting setup right now. Unfortunately, it's pretty flimsy, as we don't have any counter magic or anything to protect this. All right, draw cards. Which leads me to why is Mono Blue not running 14 mana rocks? In this deck, I'm basically like activated ability tribal kind of. I'm running Rings of Brighthearth and Lithoform Engine with fetch lands as another way to ramp. And the biggest sources of ramp are going to be Extraplanar Lens, Cage Sun, and Gauntlet of Power. I think the deck has enough mana. I don't think that's an issue with it. I'm just gonna count now. How many mana sources do we have here? 1, 2, 3. I'm not gonna count High Tide. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 15 mana sources. I'm not counting High Tide. I'm not counting Myriad Landscape. That seems like a good amount of ramp. Spotlight ignores your hexproof. Yes, but he has to crack it. He has to crack his glaring spotlight to deal with the Colossus. I know it's expensive in paper, but are you running Explainer guides? Yes. You can check out the deck list. I'll link it. I'm running 36 lands, including 36 lands, and 37 if you count Seagate Reborn. And I'm counting Seagate Reborn as number 37 as a land slot because it enters the battlefield untapped. So I would say this deck runs 37 lands. Or maybe like 36 because Dark Depth doesn't tap for mana by itself. So 36 or 37 and 15 sources of ramp. Oh, yeah. It's passively working that way. I got you. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a long day. Tomer, is it possible to build a good budget Stitcher Gear Elf? Yeah, for sure. All right. So what we're gonna do? He's gonna play Reaper King again, and I'm just gonna keep bouncing his stuff over and over again. What cards do you think desperately need reprints for EDH? I think if I was in charge of reprinting cards for EDH, I would look at right off the bat. I'd look at like all the most popular mana sources, so ramp cards especially. Like a lot of the 2 CMC mana rocks, I think are a little bit too expensive, and I try to lower them. Wayfarer's Bauble, I think, still needs a reprint. Everthrowing Chalice got reprinted, and I like that. Mindstone got reprinted, and I like that. Thought Vessel, I think, needs a reprint. All the medallions, I think, need another reprint. Even the Diamond Cycle is not even that great, but I think it needs a reprint. Cabal Coffers definitely. Urborg could also get another reprint, honestly. Fetch lands at some point would be great. Scroll Rack is like the one that really is weird that it's not reprinted. Scroll Rack I thought was actually on the reserve list because of just how insanely plasma ideals to each creature. Okay. So let's bounce this. And what do we start bouncing, actually? I think we bounce... we want to get rid of that. And then let's bounce... We can't bounce our own creatures, so I can't keep the Colossus. Let's bounce. That. We get rid of the bestiary. I think we bounced all the things that I wanted to bounce, honestly. Let's bounce a bestiary. Okay. That's it. Not bouncing Hedron Archive to send a message? Nah. Okay. So our game plan, we can probably drop Heidar and start bouncing that way, or we could just like bounce with Scourge of Fleets. I don't know what we're gonna do next turn. Really depends on our opponents. But we do have Icy Prison as a way to get rid of the Reaper King one turn, which is nice. But we don't really have any way to really catch up with Karamatra. This game, unfortunately, this game is not great. I guess Heidar is probably not great. Maybe reset Beastmaster Ascension? I don't think so. I think those bounces were fine. I still think this game is kind of like meh. Haydar's a pretty weak deck, honestly. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Didn't really get any good games. I don't think any of these games are gonna show up until like gameplay abridged gameplay. I'm not gonna do anything with these recordings. I think Heidar is just kind of like a bad deck. It's either like very oppressive, like all I do is I bounce the opponent's stuff and they don't get to play the game, but I don't actually advance my board state much at the same time, or it just kind of falls apart like game 1 and 2 for various reasons. The first game I was actually ahead, except we got blown up repeatedly, and then game 2 I kept a bad hand and we just fell behind. This game I'm doing stuff, but that's mostly because there's a group hug deck, and I mean that's not even helping me necessarily. It's more just helping the rest of the table, and yeah, I don't know. Never been a fan of group hug, to be honest. Yeah, okay, yeah, he did it. He did the thing. This is usually what Reaper King does. It's cast Reaper King, write a replication, you get a billion triggers. Cool. Cool. Definitely definitely what I like to see. Do you have any wheels? I have Windfall. Wheels with Windfalls, bounce and Windfall is really good, but still, it's like a miserable playstyle, right? Like you're just bouncing your opponent's stuff and not letting them play the game for the entirety of the game. Yeah, this night in terms of recording is kind of a mulligan, you could call it. I'm thinking about building go wide token deck with Maresil. Oh yeah, that's sick. Do you have any tips on the deck building part? What should I look for in having the deck? How can I balance that? I've written about not Marith, Gahiji. Gahiji Honored One is the closest analog to Marisi from like an older standpoint. You can kind of like focus on basically like running cards that give everybody. Oh yeah, just blowing up. Yeah, okay, yeah. Reaper King is just an absolutely miserable deck to play against. It's just this. It's like you either stop Reaper King from doing the thing and he does nothing all game, or Reaper King lands and he does this, and then your opponents lose. Yeah, man, no good games this night, huh? All right, I'm out. Good night, Wormweaver. All right, so we didn't get any good games. Did not get any good games this night. My Xyrus group hug deck is pretty nice. Xyrus is interesting in that we played against Seth, and we were actually like begging him to kill us, which was kind of hilarious. What about Nguyen Dar deck? That could be a very fun control deck that's quite budget. I mean, fun in the sense that it does interesting things, sure. Playing against it, though, it's just like, it's a control deck that's like, I counter your spell, I counter your spell, I counter your spell. I make a very large creature, animate it, and swing. I don't know if that's fun for opponents, but I don't know. I made a Jund EDH that had a lot of those if this creature takes damage cards in it, and Pestilence effects. Yeah, that's sick. Did I join late? Yeah, I mean, we had 3 games, and none of them turned out good. I usually just play a couple hug pieces in KNT and to convince the table I'm friendly. Yeah, I mean, that's how I played it too. I used to have a KNT deck too, and it would be a little bit, like a tiny bit of group hug, but it was mostly politics. You know, like the tempting offer cards, where it's like you could opt in to get some benefit out of these cards, but I'm going to always get the most benefit. That's what KNT is by itself. Like, you're helping the rest of the table with KNT's ability, but you're getting both the effects. Your opponents are only getting one or the other. If you're trying to do an interesting control deck in blue, white, it's Rasputin. Yeah, Rasputin's pretty interesting. Yeah, I'm not trying to say that control decks are always going to be miserable. It's just in terms of, like, when I think of decks that I don't like playing against, it's either decks that just don't let you actually cast your spells ever, decks that fundamentally alter how a game is played. So decks that don't let you cast your spells ever, stacks, control, those are generally not very fun to play against, for me at least. And then games that drastically alter the gameplay of the deck so that your deck just doesn't function the way it should or it normally does, like Group Hug and Chaos. Never been a fan of those to play against. Playing as it can be interesting. And then the linear decks where it's just like I shut down your commander and it doesn't do anything, or I don't play, or I just do my thingy and I win the game. Both of those, all those options are kind of meant to play against. But I mean, that's just how it is. Popping back in. Oh yeah. I mean, that's Reaper King, Afro. I kind of expected that. That's like either Reaper King does the thing or doesn't do anything, right? That's just how it is. And yeah. All right. This stream was okay. The games were not great, I'll be honest, but I actually had a lot of time because I wasn't doing most of the games. I got a chance to chat with a lot of people, so I got to interact with you all in the chat log actually way more than I usually get to, because if I'm going off or whatever, that usually takes up my time. But this time we had like a ton of people show up in chat. We got like over 300 people at our peak. Krim showed up. That was great. I got to like chat with all of you. That was fun. Game itself kind of sucked. Heidar, I would not recommend playing ever again. I just don't like the playstyle that much personally. Nor is he a very powerful deck. But it is an interesting teaser for Kaldheim next year. We're gonna see snow again, pretty sure, and hopefully we get like a multicolor snow commander that will be a little bit more interesting than oppressiveness. But yeah, that is how it is sometimes. Not every single game is going to be a masterpiece. Good night. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that's going to be wrapping up the stream. Hope everybody enjoyed regardless, even if the games didn't suck. I thought the conversations were really good, so that is fun. And yeah, hope everybody enjoyed. I will be back next week. I probably won't make a poll for it. I'm just going to pick something that I think is interesting. Or I'm going to curate a poll that I think is going to be all good choices instead of like... Heidar probably should have known better. It wasn't going to be a good deck. But yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll be back next week. I stream every single week, Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, pretty regularly. I've been doing this for over a month now. So yeah, catch me that. And until next time, friends. See ya.